Welcome to Garden Guru's Garden Revolution. I'm Jing Xiang and I'll be sharing with you some pro tips to kickstart your gardening journey. Coming up in today's show, I'm going to show you an easy-to-grow plant for new gardeners, Sandy's with some carnivorous plants right here in Singapore, and Trevor Cochrane, the OG garden guru, gets the lowdown on the canopy garden in Jewel Changi Airport. Do you recognize this plant? It's called a money plant. In the scientific world, we call it Epipremnum aureum. It's a highly versatile plant, highly adaptable, and it's very easy to start, especially if you're the first-time gardener. The money plant is a common houseplant. Notice the leaves, there are some streaks of gold, and that's where the name comes from. You need the soil to be well drained for your money plant to thrive. You can consider adding some perlite to your potting soil to help with this. To know when to water your plant, all you need to do is to test the soil. So you push the leaves to one side, you stick your little finger into the soil at least 1 inch, and then get a feel. If it's moist, it's sufficient. If it's dry, then it's time to water your plant. Typically for a pot of this size, you should water all the way until the water drains out, and then you know it is saturated, and that is good. The money plant is a highly versatile plant and it's very easy to grow. All you need to do is to identify one of its longest runners, just like this one. And down here is its little roots. So pick up a pair of secateurs and place it right in between this, where it's before the roots. Give it a good snip. So with this new cutting, all you need to do is grab a cup of water, place the cutting inside, make sure that the roots are actually submerged into the water, and within 2 weeks, you see new roots coming out from the plant. You can choose to put the plant in this water and let it grow, or you can actually pot it into a pot with media. With your new money plant cutting, you need to place it next to a window or in an area that has bright but indirect sun. The money plant can also cope well in low light conditions. It's a really hardy plant. The money plant is really a perfect plant for anyone new to gardening. It is easy to grow, it is fuss-free. When I was growing up as a little boy, we had so many, we had to give them away to our friends and neighbors. You can pick them up at the garden centers near you. They are fairly inexpensive. Why not give it a try?
When it comes to innovative horticulture, Singapore has led the world for many, many years. What is quite remarkable, though, is this latest project. The Jewel in Changi is just mind-blowing, and a lot of people have come to see it. But do you know the story behind the construction, the building, and the plant selection? Well, when you do, you're going to be amazed. This is an incredible place where nature and architecture blend seamlessly to create a captivating destination like no other. The centrepiece is this stunning 40-metre-high waterfall, known as the Rain Vortex, which is surrounded by lush green gardens. Obviously, this is an enormous structure, what we're 5 different stories of plantings. The engineering in the installation must have been amazing. What did you do?
It took years. So what happened was the landscape architects are the ones who set the base design.
Yeah.
Then they are in charge of bringing the design to life.
The structure is absolutely incredible. There must be hundreds of glass panes.
Nope, there are more than 9,000 paints and unique ones at that.
Right, so everyone's an individual shape and size, right?
Yes, completely unique.
So the trees and shrubs that you've selected, there's no way they could have all come from Singapore. You would have had to brought them in from other parts of the world?
Yeah, all over the world, from Australia to Malaysia, China, Thailand, US.
When I come to Singapore, acclimatising takes a bit of time. It would have been the same for those plants. How long was that?
For most of the trees, about 2 years. First of all, yes, of course, quarantine.
Yep.
Make sure that all the pests that are not supposed to be there are taken care of. They are also nursed back to health because they got a lot of stress through the transportation. We have 2,000 trees and palms here, 120 species, and we have at least 200,000 ground covers and shrubs.
So there's obviously some pretty special trees in amongst this as well.
Yes.
What's your highlight?
We have some ficuses that we have here that aesthetically interesting features to them. So we have one that curves through its branches like a dragon and through like clouds floating.
Wow.
Yes,
That's
go take a look at it.
It's another highlight to look out for. This is a world-class destination where shopping, dining and horticulture work together in pure harmony. Now, this terminal's design was very purposeful. Air travel can be quite stressful on the body, so using plants and using water is a known de-stressor. It makes this a very important part of the whole travel experience. Changi Airport was already the world's leading airport, but this, the Jewel, takes it to a whole new level.
Coming up after the break, Sandy has some carnivorous plants to show you, and Margaret visits a community garden.
Look at this little cutie here in this tiny pot. This is how you normally get your succulents from your local nurseries. And the sad part about this is that sometimes when you water too much, it dies. And you water too little, it also dies. And it becomes a very stressful situation. Well, the problem here lies with the soil. While the outdoor soil mixers are actually amazing in nurseries with massive sun and strong wind that can dry the soil up within a week, they do stay soggy for much longer in most of our homes. Soil that stays wet for too long starts to encourage all kinds of nasty bugs and pests to appear around the soil and around the plant. So over time, these pests will actually cause a lot of disease and rot to spread all over, eventually causing your plant to collapse. So this is what's going to happen. This is my poor little cactus here that has already begun rotting, and it's unfortunately over for him. So if you want your succulents to grow for years, you want to make sure you repot them into a suitable, well-draining, gritty soil mix like this the moment you bring them home. So here's how you can make your very own gritty soil mix with 4 ingredients. So first up, you're going to need any potting soil from your favorite nursery. Follow up with perlite, which is light and fluffy, and you can actually press and squeeze them like this. Next up, we're going to go with akadama, which is this gorgeous color. And these volcanic clays, right, they're actually great for ventilation within the soil. And lastly, we're going to go for pumice. So pumice, even when they are wet, they still feel very dry, which are perfect for your soil. So you want to mix 1 part of each into your mixing bowl, and then just pour around all into your pot. Okay, and then over here in the mixing bowl, you can just start mixing it all around. Okay, within seconds, you should be able to get your own perfect gritty soil mix. The texture should feel really chunky, like you're holding a handful of peanuts. And if you're not there yet, just add more pumice until you're happy with the final outcome. So once you're ready, just grab your plant out from its nursery pot and remove all its old soil like this. Okay. Once it's all out, just place the plant into a pot of your choice. I chose this one, and you put the plant in, and then you can start filling soil up into the pot. There we have it like this.
Have you ever heard about Malabar spinach? It's a tropical leafy vegetable that are so easy to grow, and it's perfect for those who want to start gardening. It contains a lot of nutrients, and it's really tasty. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to grow Malabar spinach in a fast-free and simple way. First of all, choose a location that receives at least 4 hours of natural light a day. If you don't have a garden, don't worry. You can grow Malabar spinach in a container and place it near the window, receiving similar duration of natural light. Malabar spinach grows well in well-drained soil. You may like to pick up a pre-mixed planting medium like this, or you can even create your own planting medium, including materials like cocoa peat, peat moss, perlite, and planting nutrients. So first of all, you need to pick a pot, and I'm using a biodegradable pot today. Fill the pot with planting medium. There you go. and you put the seeds directly onto the soil. Then you cover the seeds with a thin layer of soil. Or you can use a stem cutting like this. Trim the leaves and insert 1 inch into the soil. Use your index and the middle finger and at the same time to press out the air, also to stabilize the plants. Water the Malabar spinach regularly and don't have to worry about overwatering them because they can handle it very well. But of course, if you're planting in a pot like this, please ensure that they have drainage holes underneath the pot. You should also prune the Malabar spinach plant as often as possible to encourage new growth. When the leaves are 10 to 15 cm long, it's time to harvest them. You may trim off the leaf directly or the entire stem. Remember, the more you harvest, the more they grow. See, growing Malabar spinach is just so fun and easy. And best of all, Malabar spinach is packed with nutrients for a healthy diet. Happy planting!
Plants are remarkable things. They have an amazing ability to adapt to difficult environmental conditions. For instance, some plants starved of light will grow larger foliage to capture more of it. Others develop tendril-like abilities to climb trees and shrubs that are blocking their access to light. Some have even evolved the ability to gain nutrients from other plants by acting as a parasite and eating them alive, slowly sucking the life energy from their hosts. There are even more macabre plants that hunt living prey, and they eat their bodies, dissolve them to gain nutrients. These victims include ants, flies, frogs, and sometimes even lizards. And all this is happening right here in the wild in Singapore. In a secret location in the west of Singapore stands a small patch of vegetation. It may look like a bunch of weedy-looking shrubs, but if you look closely, you can find some interesting plants with oddly shaped leaves. Or are they? These modifications are part of a carnivorous plant known as pitcher plants, or nepenthes. Look at this clump of rhizome fern. You can see a viney plant that's clinging to them. This is the slender pitcher plant, which is the most common among the 3 varieties of pitcher plants to be found in Singapore. Pitcher plants are usually found growing in poor soil conditions, which is low in nutrients. They rely on carnivory to obtain nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. Some even rely on leaf litter and animal droppings to get food. Pitcher plants trap insects using modified leaves known as pitfall traps. These traps, also known as pitchers, secrete nectar to attract insects, which fall into the traps and are digested by enzymes in the pitcher fluid. This provides the plant with the additional nutrients that it needs. This is the green-red speckled pitcher plant, also known as Nepenthes ampullaria. It forms basal rosettes, which is made up of clusters of small pitchers with no leaves. As you can see here, the lid of the pitcher is folded backwards, and the lid is very small and slender. Now this allows animal droppings and leaf litter to fall into the traps so that the plant gets food. Plants are amazing, and carnivorous plants are fascinating. You'll be surprised where you can find them growing in Singapore. Keep a lookout for these rhizome ferns, as you often find the pitcher plants growing together with them in their natural habitat.
Coming up next, Sandy talks fertilizer, and Margaret is at a community garden in the west of Singapore.
We all think of our gardens as the perfect place to grow veggies and herbs and fruit to bring inside to use in the kitchen, flavouring our favourite meals. But not many of us are thinking about the other way to use them. And that is to use them to, well, flavour some of your favourite drinks. Mocktails, cocktails, and some of the most refreshing drinks that you can ever have, teas. Someone doing just this is a friend of mine, Lydia. Now, she's dropped by today to share a few of her favourite recipes with me.
So after a long day in the garden, I love coming in and making a drink, whether it's a cold drink or calming warm tea, from stuff that we've harvested in the garden. So first off is elderflowers syrup that I made with lemon juice, some sugar, and we've blended some lychees and chocolate mint. So we're gonna add the syrup of elderflower and lychee.
That goes with soda water? Okay.
And I'll top it with some chocolate mint from your garden.
So a little taste? Yes. Shall we try it? Yes, cheers. That's good. That's very refreshing. What's next?
It's some lemon verbena. I love it. And it's my favorite plant to grow for tea in the garden. It's really quite hardy. It loves the sun. It works well in a pot. So I usually go dry for hot and just stripping the dry leaves off into a glass or adding some of the fresh leaves directly to a glass, and then it's just topping up with hot water and just letting it steep. So this is the blue butterfly pea flower.
But you're obviously picking the flower and then drying them, just letting them dry like this. So I can see we've got hot water here as a tea, used it. It's gone blue. That's just the pure blue of the pea flower coming through,
so
right?
We've just got pea flower in there and hot water. And so how we change colour is that we add some citrus, then we just stir it.
Look at that colour change.
It turns violet.
And as a tea, it's got a lovely floral sweetness.
Subtle,
Yeah, it's lovely. But here's my favourite version of it, right? You get yourself dry gin, okay? You pop the pea flowers and a small shot of that. Look how violet that is. Isn't that amazing?
It's beautiful.
But of course, you can't have gin without having tonic. So you hold that up and we'll pop some tonic in and we'll have a look and see what happens here.
Oh, wow.
And look at that, same thing. Again,
Magic.
this is alkaline. I love it. It's chemistry in a glass. All thanks to the beautiful blue pea flower. Isn't Mother Nature beautiful?
It is.
Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Thank you. This is great. And it tastes amazing.
Do you know that the secret to successfully growing your plants in gardens or pots lies in regular feeding? After all, plants are just like us. They need feeding too, and fertilizers are food for plants. And just like us, what they eat determines how healthy they are. Plants need fertilizer. Fertilizers are somewhat like the food that we take. So fertilizers are food for your plants. Now, there are many different kinds of fertilizers available in the market, but we recommend you a slow-release fertilizer. There are two kinds of fertilizers. The first one is a quick release and straight fert, which releases out the fertilizers all at once. The second one would be a slow-release fertilizer. And the major advantage of using a slow-release fertilizer is that it does not cause fert burn, and it will release out these fertilizers over time slowly. Slow-release ferts are somewhat like human beings eating rice and bread every day. So that is a very good staple for the plant. Here we have a Maranta leucanura, which is also known as a prayer plant. And it is very aptly named because when this fella goes to sleep at night, it folds its leaves. Now on to fertilizing. What kind of fertilizer should we use for this plant? We're going to use a slow-release fertilizer. And you must be wondering, how much fertilizer should I apply for a plant this size? Well, we're going to apply about 10 or so pellets around this plant. After applying the fert, we're going to have to drench this plant very thoroughly. Now, this will help to activate the slow-release fertilizer. And as it's activated, it will go all the way down into the pot and reach all the roots so that the plant can feed. Slow-release fertilizers typically last for about 2, 3, or 4 months, depending on how much water it gets. Now you must be wondering, how do you tell if the slow-release fertilizer is depleted? Very simple, fret not. garden guru in the house. Here's what you do. Pick up one of the pellets, give it a little squeeze. If it squirts, it's depleted. That's all you need to know. The key to healthy plants is not just proper watering and a good potting mix. Fertilizers contain all the macronutrients and the micronutrients that are essential to keep your plants strong and healthy, much like the vitamins that we human beings take. Visit your favorite local nurseries or gardening centers to check out the best type of slow-release fertilizers available.
Gardening is a fantastic way to bring the community, people from all ages and backgrounds together through the hands-on activities that can stimulate their senses. And here in Singapore, our community gardens are good examples of this. Today, I'm actually here at the very beautiful community farm in Toei Drive.
Our garden is actually set up in 2014. It's run by our community member. We have to get membership to join the membership before we can be a member of the gardens. So we have actually ornamental, vegetable, fruit section, and some landscaping.
The gardeners at Toei Drive Community Garden is not only dedicated to grow beautiful plants, but also making a positive impact on their community. They actively participate in the activities and events organized by the residents' committee, and they distribute the edible harvest to the neighborhood residents, elder care center, and individuals in need. The farm also conducts educational lessons for institutions such as NUS, SMU, and preschoolers to help them understand the fundamentals of gardening and how food cycles can be linked to our daily lives. These lessons have been a hit among the students and have helped them appreciate the importance of sustainability.
One thing good about our garden that I like most is that our members here are very cooperative. More or less, we help each other. We exchange knowledge. Then we have activities like from the garden to the kitchen. Then we organize function like that.
Wow, look at this little pink fruit here. It belongs to the wild grape family, and they are climber that can grow 5 to 10 meters long. They are evergreen, but I think you wouldn't want to put this in your mouth, yeah? The fruits and vegetables here have won many awards in competitions, and all thanks to the dedications and hard work of the gardeners. The size of the harvested produce is impressive, and the gardeners have successfully adopted recycling as part of their garden objectives, making a positive impact on the environment. This is an impressive garden with members and volunteers working out systematically and organized to keep the good conditions of the garden. And they have a huge variety of plants, leafy vegetables, and even fruit trees. Best of all, and what I love most is, this garden benefits the community.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode and are now inspired to start your own gardening journey. Stay tuned next week and we'll be back for more information on gardening tips. In the meantime, follow us on our website and socials to learn more about the gardening revolution. Keep growing.